It's from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your WWE Survivor Series 2020 review. This took place live November 22nd, 2020 in the Thunderdome, and it's the best of the best. That's the tagline of this show. Why? I'm not really sure. What the important part, and what I would assume would have been highlighted, is that The Undertaker, he debuted 30 years ago. He is retiring here 30 years later at the same Survivor Series, and he's had his final match at WrestleMania this year, but tonight, the final farewell to the WWE. That will be headlining the show. So let's get to these matches. First up, we have a 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. It is the male side of the roster here, Raw versus SmackDown. You have the self-appointed team captain of AJ Styles with his bodyguard, Almost. He gets on the microphone and is swiftly interrupted by Riddle. I don't know why Matt Riddle has been dropped down to just Riddle. It still bothers me. With his other partners of Keith Lee, Braun, Sheamus, taking on the SmackDown team of Jey Uso, KO, Otis, Seth Rollins, and King Corbin. Now, Jey and AJ Styles begin this match. Seth Rollins sacrifices himself. He was kind of comatose in this match. He gets out of here pretty early. Send him home so he can be home for Thanksgiving. He'll be having a child with Becky Lynch. So Becky Lynch, of course, she's away from action. She's been gone. Seth Rollins, he's already packed on a few pounds for the winter. So that'll be great for them. Hopefully they will at some point be back in the ring. Probably Seth Rollins quicker. Because those are some good talents, and we're definitely gonna miss them, but you know, it's a time to celebrate for them during the holidays, plus they got the baby, so that's pretty cool. But over here in this match, however, the teams begin to regroup until Braun goes straight up Raw on Team SmackDown, knocking them all to the ground. This is a big man. Kevin Owens gets eliminated by AJ Styles. Riddle eliminated KO. Braun eliminated Otis. Keith Lee eliminates Jey Uso with a big power bomb. All the team members have been eliminated. And right here at Survivor Series, Keith Lee, man, devastatedly, this man won the entire match, which is really cool for him. I've seen people complain that he hasn't really gotten the push that he needs, but yeah, wins like this is important. Winning a team, the entire team here at Survivor Series. Survivor Series has such a long history, and hopefully they can capitalize on that. He, to me, can be in the main event and making big money matches already. He's got the talent. He definitely does. The team almost breaks down, but then they pose for a photo all together that no one ever took. Yeah, well, we got a Gears of War reference right here. It's the Gears of War get up attire or whatever that the New Day of Kofi and Xavier Woods, the Raw Tag Team Champions, are rocking as the fake fan chants the New Day. Now, I thought the New Day broke up. Did I dream that? But I thought that they broke up and moved on. Well, they're taking on the Street Profits here. The Street Profits are the SmackDown Tag Champions. This is something we're going to see a lot of here tonight. Two different champions going against each other, whether it's the tag team champions facing each other, or the women's champions, or the men's champions, singles champions fighting each other. Hey, you know what? This match right here, Kofi's taunting Montez with a red cup and kicks it in the air, which is such a heel thing to do. So I don't know if that was just supposed to be funny or if they're actually bad guys. You know, I really couldn't tell. I really couldn't tell from this match. But a good one here, of course, with these talents here. I mean, how can you go wrong? But the Street Profits, they get the win on the New Day, so that's good for them. The New Day, they don't need this. The Street Profits, yeah, well, they're already champions, right? So, you know, they're both champions, so hey, everybody's doing great, I suppose. But really just a good match thrown in there, and they congratulate each other after the match, both teams. They're like, hey man, good job, you did a good job. And I'm like, hey, they did do a good job. So everybody's happy. Happy Thanksgiving for everybody happening early. That is, if you celebrate such a thing. I love the food, I will tell you that. I'm pretty sure that is a key reason for liking that in particular. So, what do we got next? We have the ladies. Yeah, they're all backstage. They're putting their hands together. The SmackDown ladies. Good for them. Bayley thinks she's important. Okay, they show the Raw's team, and they're leaving Lana, who is part of their group, on the outskirts, and Nia Jax is like, she will not be tagged, and Lana's over there like, I heard that because I'm 2 feet away. So really weird why they're doing this. Lana, you know, she had a special on the WWE network, and she's, what is she doing? She's trying to get sympathy from people? Like, people were mad at me. People said that I sucked. And, you know, everybody's looking around like, well, I mean, when we compare you and your past in the ring to somebody like Asuka or Becky Lynch or Charlotte or anybody, you know, you're pretty low ranking. So if somebody's going to say that she sucked in the past or she sucks now, it's kind of like, what do you want them to say? I mean, it's okay to like her. It's okay to, but it's also okay, you know, to be like, yeah, you're not very good. So I don't know. Apparently, people have been hurting her feelings and all that. And I am not for disparaging people or trying to be mean to people. But, I mean, if somebody says that you suck, I mean, my goodness, this is like an insult that I'm sure everyone has had to deal with at one point in their life. And you're just like, you know what? Screw you, dude. Just go out there and be great. If she really is that great and really that awesome, then she should just be that awesome. Like, does Charlotte ever sit around and say, you know, people early on said I look like a man, and then they said it was ugly, and then they said I was just Ric Flair's daughter. Why are they putting me in here? And they're putting a rocket strap to me. No, you don't see her complaining. I just don't understand. Is Lana going to get more over if I feel sorry for her? Not really. It doesn't really work like that. Like, aww, like that's going to get you to the top. That's going to get you in the main event of WrestleMania. Everybody in the crowd being like, somebody said that she sucked. And that was mean. It was so mean. And now she's great. I don't know, it's a big conspiracy. Or is it? Because it's conspiracy Sami Zayn. He is the Intercontinental Champion, looking like he's on an episode of MASH. He's taking on the United States Champion of Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley has the Hurt Business backing him up, which is always good support. Sami's stalling until he goes wild and out on Bobby while he can. He really is basically trying to do everything he possibly can. You have MVP standing up on the ramp, and Sami walks backwards and trips himself on MVP, trying to get a disqualification, but it doesn't work. Bobby gets the hurt lock, and Sami taps. So Sami, he knew he was outmatched. He knew he didn't really have a good chance here. And instead of just getting in there and fighting and seeing if he truly was the bigger man, I mean, he is the Intercontinental Champion. He should have a little bit of faith in himself, but he took the coward way out, and it cost him. and he tapped out for it. Just sad. You got to pull yourself together, man. Backstage, we see the Usos. They're hanging outside Roman Reigns' locker room door. They can't go in there because Roman Reigns has said, yo, no, that's not the way it works. Roman Reigns, he's the big dog. He makes the decisions. He doesn't want people bothering him. And it's just not going to happen. So Paul opens the door, looking a little bit disgusted, a little bit disappointed. And Roman says, you lost, and sends Jimmy away. And the big dog daddy, Roman Reigns, says that people, if they don't respect Jay, they don't respect Roman. And if they don't respect Roman, they don't respect the entire family. And yeah, he's like, he's just like, get out of here, dude. I don't need you in my life. So Jay, he's a little bit hurt. I like this storyline because it involves a family, and that's relatable to a lot of people. A lot of us in this world, you know, we were born to somebody, you know what I mean? We're related to people. So, you know, it's a thing that people can understand. And it hits home with a lot of people who have crazy families or whatever the case may be. And a lot of people, you know, you can see with this that this is a competitive family. You have multi-generation legendary figures within this family, and to be a disappointment on a television scale, you can understand why someone in the family, understandably so, would say, yeah, you're kind of not bringing respect to this family. So I like that. I like this dynamic. I think it hits home with a lot of people. Asuka, she's the Raw's Women's Champion, taking on Sasha Banks, who is the SmackDown Women's Champion. I feel like every time I look, Sasha Banks has a championship or multiple ones. Not hating, just stating. These girls come in here with the grapples and the hold. Sasha is going for short arm scissors, arm bars, any type of submission that she can grab. Really good wrestling action. I like this kind of stuff. And these are some excellent talents to do it as well. But Sasha Banks, she gets the pin. And Sasha Banks wins. Now it is Survivor Series. We've seen some good stuff. Now let's get to some of the terribleness. The Gobbledygooker. Yes, he's on the same show as The Undertaker's Farewell. He's the new 24/7 champion. Yeah, that happened. And he finds a trail of birdseed. Typically, you would think a trail of birdseed would just be a couple little seeds that would lead to something. Well, this was more like a really wide highway of seeds, so you couldn't miss it even on the lowest quality of WWE Network streams. Well, he finds the trail of birdseed, and it leads to Tozawa and a ninja popping out of a backstage storage box, and they get a quick pin there. So the Gobbledygooker probably didn't even know who pinned him. But R-Truth comes in and attacks Tozawa with a big bag of birdseed and becomes the champion. And then the big bird runs after the swinger of the big bag of birdseed, who hit the guy who came out of the big backstage box. Yeah, it's as confusing, me trying to explain that last sentence, as it is stupid. Now we have another Survivor Series match. It is the Raw Women's Survivor Series match. Nia Jax, Tag Team Champion, Lana's Bully, Team Captain, all the titles. Her tag team partner, Shayna Baszler, Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce, Lana versus Team SmackDown of Bayley, Bianca Belair, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Natalya. I like this match. This was probably one of my more favorite Survivor Series matches here of the night. Lacey Evans and Bayley began the match. Lacey Evans has gotten a lot better in the past couple of months, so that improves things. Peyton Royce out here in her singles career. I hope she does great. Bayley, still great. Always doing her stuff. Yeah. Lana, however, she's on the outside. She's scared. So I'm guessing all this social media stuff she's been doing, the WWE Network video, which I haven't seen yet. I've just seen reviews and write-ups on it. But from what I can tell, you know, she's she's basically saying what goes into this story and what amplifies and fuels this story, this narrative that she was bullied and now she must overcome. Bailey's eliminated. Natty eliminates Peyton Royce. Lacey eliminates Natty. Shayna Baszler eliminates Ruby Riott. Liv Morgan eliminates Lacey Evans. Nia Jax eliminates Liv Morgan. And Shayna Baszler, she's on the outside trying to choke out Belair in the ropes, and or on the inside, and she gets disqualified for not breaking the count, so she's out of here. Then we see Nyla, or not Nyla, but what is her name? I'm thinking about Nyla Rose. No, not that lady. I just lost my notes. Hold on. Nia Jax. Okay. I don't know why I completely spaced on her name. Nia Jax. Okay, she's here. She's fighting on the outside with Bianca Belair, and she picks Bianca Belair up like she's going to do the Samoan backdrop through the table. Like she did to Lana, 9 times on the past couple of shows. But yeah, Bianca tosses her into the steps. Bianca then tosses Nyla, or Nia. Man, that's jacking me up. I need to be more precise on my notes. Over the barricade and a count out. Both girls get eliminated, and this causes Lana to win by default. We're all shocked, and yeah, everybody here is shocked, as well as Jax is just like, I cannot believe what has just happened. Everyone is shocked here. So Lana, with the lipstick down her face, she wins. So hopefully she can get her confidence back, because she was looking like a scared cat and it was kind of weird. Roman Reigns, he is the SmackDown, the WWE champion, with Paul Heyman taking on Drew McIntyre from the Raw side with the Universal Championship. These guys locking up like they are ginormous bulls, locking horns. This is good action for them, showing 2 big guys who have matching powers. They're champions in their own right, so of course they're not just going to be blowing each other out with different kind of moves and whatnot. Roman spears Drew through the barricade. Jey Uso comes down to help out. He gets a little bit thwarted, but it does allow Roman Reigns to get a low blow on Drew. So Jey technically helped, but he really wasn't that effective. You know, it was almost like Roman, he did get the upper hand, but Jey didn't really help a tremendous amount. He made it work, but barely. Superman punch from Roman, a super kick from Jey Uso, and that did help. Roman slaps on the guillotine choke and wins via submission. Jey is on the top rope clamping, and then Jey and Roman, they hug. They are a family again, and Drew McIntyre is not happy. I mean, he kind of got screwed. Yeah, he definitely did. Of course, none of these titles were on the line because, that would have just been complete chaos. This was all non-title stuff. Kind of strange, but not unheard of, I suppose. Now it's time for the real main event, is the Undertaker's farewell. I was at Orlando for WrestleMania a few years back, and when the Undertaker put his hat in the ring, and I thought that was the end. Well, I was at WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans when the Undertaker's streak was broken. I thought that was the end, but then promptly, there were more matches, and yeah, I saw the one with Shane live in Dallas, and the one in Orlando. I thought the Orlando one had to have been it. That had to have been all. But then it wasn't. There was more matches. And finally, at WrestleMania 36, here with no fans, we had WrestleMania. They had their special match with AJ Styles, and that was truly it. And I remember thinking, man, it's hard to think that The Undertaker's done. Although we knew that we would still see him, we'd still see some segments or some promos or whatever the case was. But it wasn't I don't know. It wasn't like a final nail in the coffin kind of thing. Now we're going to do this thing at Survivor Series where it kind of bookends, and it literally, they're saying, this is the end, this is Undertaker's official retirement. So I guess it's more of a formality, like, yeah, he's already retired, but now we're going to have this ceremony, or we're just going to have a segment saying, okay guys, officially, just so everybody knows, it's officially over. So that's what this was more about. Yeah, WWE has already telegraphed that, yeah, he is not wrestling anymore. It's just not going to happen. So it's official. And we have a couple of his closest guys come out to the ring. Shane McMahon, Big Show, JBL, Jeff Hardy, Mick Foley, The Godfather, The Godwins, Savio Vega, Rikishi, Kevin Nash, Booker T, HBK, Ric Flair, Triple H, and Kane. Yeah, that's insane. There's some of these guys, this could be their last appearance on a WWE pay-per-view or on a WWE show. I mean, I don't know how many more times we're going to see the Godwins or Savio Vega, honestly. But they came out and they basically just all stood in the ring, and then we moved on to the next segment and they were out of the ring. So I guess it was just like, hey, you are my boys, so come out here. And like, I don't know. It was weird because the Undertaker never acknowledged them face to face. They just kind of came out and it was like, this is my hand-selected closest friends. We get a long package on Taker. He's had a very long career. Get the fake Undertaker chant, and we get Vince McMahon doing a promo. I saw a lot of people online saying that Vince looked like he had de-aged put on him, because Vince McMahon is old as crap. There is no denying that. When you look at him, you hear him talk. He's very gruff when he talks. He sounds like an old man. And he looks extremely old. He's got his hair, like he's got some aging spots on him. This man is not young, and he moves around like, "Argh!" So yeah, he did look a little bit younger, but that really could be to the lighting. Although WWE they have a lot of tricks. They have their 3D logos that pop up throughout the show. So I would not put it past WWE for using some kind of de-aging, but it could have been as simple as lighting and makeup. Sometimes you don't have to do the Snapchat filters. You can get the lighting just perfect. Maybe I need to do that, get my lighting just a little bit perfect. That would be nice. But yeah, we have two Teslas, Tesla coils, not the car, that do the little lightning, play the Undertaker song. And this infuriated me. Now, I didn't have a sound system on, but maybe you could hear the bass or something on that. But watching it on my computer, it sounded like somebody's cell phone from 1999 had the Undertaker's theme. It was just like, and that was weird. It didn't sound right. I don't know if you've ever had a Tesla coil play in front of you, but you can go to, some of the museums have them where they will play songs, and basically I don't know how it works, but the electricity gets directed and the frequency makes it make different sounds, and you can play music off of it, basically. The thing is, in person, they're incredibly impressive because you can feel it, you can hear it, it's extremely loud, like you really kind of have to cover your ears and all this. Translated into the way they did it here on WWE, it just sounded horrible. It was just... And I was like, what is something wrong with the audio here? But they start playing the Undertaker chants. Here they play his actual music. He makes his final entrance, which was very cinematic. I liked it. It looked great. Looks fantastic. But didn't feel the same. Normally when you see these entrances, it's like, yeah, the Undertaker, he's gonna come in here and do a classic match. But here, it was just like he was literally watching a funeral taking place. It was sad. It was hard to watch. And yeah, I just spent the whole time thinking, oh, this is it. This is it. This is the end. The end of The Undertaker. Undertaker gets on the microphone and says, you know, it's time to let The Undertaker rest in peace. And the audio guy, you know, they got to hit the piece, so the crowd all says it, but they hit it twice. So it sounded like a broken video game. Like literally some game back in the day. I know one of the old SmackDown games would have an issue like that sometimes, or at least on mine. Maybe I just had a jacked up one. He looks very emotional. He gets on the ground, does his signature pose, and a hologram of Paul Bearer pops up, and they do the oh yes thing, and that was it. That's the final send-off for The Undertaker Fade to Black. The final gong and all this. Yeah, we, after this, had The Undertaker on the Stone Cold podcast. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot more things on the internet about The Undertaker. He's got a Cameo account where people have been paying $1,000 each to get The Undertaker to do a cameo, which is basically just a short video being like, good job on your basketball game, or happy birthday there, Stan. So yeah, he's making extra bank. We'll be seeing a lot more of the not in character Undertaker, which is going to be strange. So weird now, you know, a new fan that watches the show from now on will never know what it was like to experience an Undertaker match live, a program, a build-up. Of course, they can see everything that happens, but it's always weird, you know, when somebody of a legendary status like this is out of the game, what that means for wrestling. I felt the same thing when Ric Flair was done, and then he was done again, or Shawn Michaels, or, you know, people like this. Mick Foley, he had his last WWE match, or his last couple of WWE matches. You have this sense of, oh man, like all this time, all this legendary stuff, and now it's over. And that's how I felt here. A very somber close for Survivor Series. Here in 2020, The Undertaker officially done. He's buried. And I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more from The Undertaker, but his official capacity here in the WWE, well, as far as being The Undertaker, is done. It's over. Bell has tolled. But a pretty good show. Not super fantastic. I'm not really a fan of not having title matches whatsoever. Survivor Series matches can be fun, but not exactly my favorite type of match. But I do know what's coming up soon. Well, first it's tables, ladders, and chairs, right? But then in January is when things start getting interesting. Things I really starts picking up for me when the Royal Rumble comes around, and looking forward to that. Hey, just saying, Keith Lee just had a big victory here on Survivor Series, so I would keep an eye on that man when it comes to the Royal Rumble. Think he's got a shot here. I think he has a chance. So, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys next time.